This is the Nova Smart Ring, more specifically the Nova R, and the headline features are it has 4 to 7 days of battery life, it has no subscriptions, there's no monthly fees, it has a water resistance up to 50 meters, and it only weighs just over 3 grams. And let's not forget about the cost. This currently right now is going for $179. To put that into perspective, the Aura Ring, one of the most popular smart rings on the market, its base version is roughly about $350. You can also get a ceramic version, one of their higher class versions, about $500. But if we only look at their base version, this is almost half the price. When looking to buy a new smart ring, there's 4 main points I look at. Number 1, is it comfortable? Number 2, is it durable? Number 3, is the battery life long enough? And number 4, is it accurate? If it's not accurate and I don't trust the information, I'm not going to use the ring. Also, if the battery life isn't long enough and I have to charge it over and over and over, it's going to become a hassle and I'm not going to use the ring. If it's not durable enough and it breaks within the first few days or first few weeks, it's obviously not going to get used. And also if it's not comfortable, if it becomes annoying and a sort of hassle to wear, I'm also not going to wear it, and in that way it's also going to be pointless. So I need all 4 points to be good to make this a good smart ring. So let's start with comfort. Nova Smart Ring will actually send you a ring fitting kit, so you can try on loads of different ring sizes to see which one fits your finger the best. The best finger to have the ring on is your index finger, and that can be either side, but other than that, it can pretty much go on any finger you choose. Just for accuracy and the best results, the index finger is the best. And with all the different sizes, I chose the ring size 11. That fits both my index fingers the best. But for comfort, it's not all about how well it fits. There's other factors to think about. That's a lot of F's and TH's. Anyways, it's also about how thick the ring is, because that is how close it is to your fingers, and if you feel it a lot more because it's just bulky. With this, it's actually not too bad. I have tested rings that are thicker, but also ones that are thinner. And the thinner, the best. There's also other compromises to that, like there might be less battery, less sensors, other things like that. So with this, it's not too bad overall. I would like it a little bit thinner, but overall it's a pretty decent and standard size ring. And another factor to comfort is how much it weighs. This weighs just around about 3.5 grams. Once again, I have tested heavier rings, but I have also tested lighter rings. It all comes down to what materials are used, how many sensors, how big the battery is, loads of different factors, but with this one at a size 11, this comes in around about 3.5 grams ish. Now that isn't too bad, but like I mentioned, I have tested lighter rings, and once again, if it's thinner and lighter, the more you're going to forget that you're even wearing it. That being said, with this ring, after wearing it for about a day or two, you do come super used to it, and I do forget sometimes I'm even wearing it. Now let's take a look at durability. So when I buy a smart device like a smart ring or even smart watch, I don't want to worry about if it's going to break or if I have to take it off. I want to wear it 24/7. I want it to fit in with what I do each and every day, and I just want it to work and withstand what I will use it for. Now with this, it has a body that's made out of titanium. Very tough material, very lightweight, a great material for a smart ring. The only setback is it can scratch. With another material that Nova actually uses on some other smart rings that are made out of sapphire glass, for instance, that material is much better for scratch resistance, whereas titanium, it can scratch, but it's much better for big knocks, hard hits, and also reduced denting. So it won't really dent, it will take big hard hits very, very well, but it will scratch. Pretty much every smart ring or ring in general I've used has scratched, and you can see I've tested this bad boy for a while now and it has scratched because I use all my devices, I test all my devices, real world use. I will not take it off. I will use it for everything that I want to use it for. And if it doesn't withstand how I want to use it, it's not a good product. This has lived up to it, and as you can see, it has got some marks, has got some scars from the trauma I've put it through, but it's worked, it works well, it's lived through the testing, and it's only come out with a few scratches. Now let's talk about battery life. Online it suggests between 4 to 7 days. I've turned on all features. I've also exercised with this. I've also synced to it to my phone multiple times a day to always update it on my phone just to see how it compares to other smart devices like my watch or other smart rings. So I've been testing this pretty heavily and I've been getting between 4 and 5 days. So that's exactly what it suggests you will get, and that's with pretty heavy use. So if you're someone who only checks or updates it or even syncs it one time a day, you just check it in the morning just to see how you slept, or you check it at the end of the day just to see what your heart rate's been doing or blood oxygen throughout the day, it will actually last more like 5 to 6 days, which is really, really good, or I think that is really, really good for any smart device. So I'm really impressed with the battery life. Another factor to battery life is charging, and you can fully charge this within like an hour. So just over an hour, I got a full charge, which is pretty good considering it lasts like 5, 6, or even 7 days. Now let's talk about accuracy. So in some areas, it's been okay, but in others, it's been really good. Some of the okay areas has been sleep. So with sleep, my smartwatch is really accurate. I go to sleep really quickly, so I know when I've gone to bed, if I've been up in the night, and when I wake up. And with the smartwatch, it's always been exactly accurate to that. The smart ring, it's been thereabouts in terms of when I've gone to sleep and when I wake up. Some areas I've had trouble with where I've woken up in the night and I haven't necessarily gone out of bed, I just have been awake because there's been a noise or something. I'll check the time and then I'll go back to sleep. In those instances, it hasn't detected that I've been awake. So that is the little caveat. It's not bad, but it's not brilliant. In some other areas where it's very good is heart rate, being very, very consistent across the board with all the other smart devices. I'll list the other smart devices I've tested this against in the description down below. So make sure to, subscribe and then check that out. But in terms of heart rate, blood oxygen, in terms of exercise with GPS, the GPS is linked to your phone, so it's only as good as your phone, but all of those, very, very good. Where it excels is steps. Now, steps have really surprised me only because in my experiences, most smart devices aren't good at tracking steps. Smartphones, smart rings, and other smart devices around that sort of category have never been good. Smartwatches have been the most accurate, but even in that case, some of them are wildly out. Now, my Withings watch is pretty accurate. If anything, it understates how many steps I take, but not by much. I want to say it's probably in the 90-95% accuracy of how many steps I truly take. So pretty accurate, and I'm happy with that. Now, every smart ring I've used has been wildly off. And I mean, if I do 5,000 steps in a day, it'll say I've done 15, 20,000 steps. It'll be crazy out. Whereas this has been pretty much spot on. Now, there have been some differences, but in some cases I do take off the ring every now and again, only to wash my hands. I sometimes forget about it for a second and then I go back and put it on. So there is some discrepancies, but in general, it's been pretty much level with my smartwatch. And in some cases, it's been within 1 or 2 steps different. Incredibly accurate in terms of how many steps I'm roughly taking. So I'm really, really happy that this is one of the first smart rings I've ever seen be accurate with steps. And while we're talking about accuracy with the sensors and all the other features, I just thought I'd list out all the features the ring and the app has. So it's got a workout detection, it has sleep insight, it has steps, it has a recovery score, it has obviously sleep tracking, it also can track your exercise, and it has 128 sports it can track. It also, of course, has a heart rate tracker, blood oxygen level tracker, a stress tracker, a body temperature tracker, and it even has gesture control. So you can control your phone and the camera app with your ring. So if you do a little wave, it'll take a picture. So if you're ever in an instance where you want to lean your phone up and take a group photo zoomed out, you can use gesture controls to do that. So let's talk about my final thoughts. Now, with this ring, it does a great job across the board. Some areas have been okay, some areas it's excelled my expectations at, and all round, it's actually been a very strong ring. The only factor that would sort of like waver me would be the sleep tracking. Just because it's not as accurate as I'd want it to be. If you just want a generalized overview of roughly when you fall asleep, roughly when you wake up, and how good your sleep was in general, it is really good, especially when you have the recovery data and also the detail of what you can get from that sleep. It is good. I wouldn't necessarily say I trust the accuracy 100%, but it is decent. Now, where this information excels though is the price. It being $179. Currently that price is just so good against its competitors. And even with that, the Aura Ring, for instance, has a monthly subscription on top of that. This has no monthly fees, no subscription, one flat price, $179. What a bargain. What a great device. All of that you get for that small price is actually really good. So I would recommend it just off that. Now, that being said, they do have a new ring coming out very soon, the S, which offers everything this ring offers, but with better charging at a more affordable price. So I'll definitely go check that out before purchasing this. But if you do like the sound of this ring and this is the one you want, there'll be a link down below. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you guys next time.